part 3. Apparently I didn't know it, like, cut stream in part 2 at this point, like, when I was here. I really thought it was not going to cut it. But apparently it just, like, oh, lost connection. Like, now that kind of makes me mad a little bit that, hey, I didn't want to go label something part 4. And clearly I wanted to do it on part 2, but... So, this is just the continuation of part 2. So, we're going to be using this rope in a minute. Well, I will explain something in a little bit. 2 things, as interesting fact history. So, yeah. Maybe it was a good thing I caught it already. Not, like, do the whole level. And I caught it, like, hey, this happened. And, like... Now than never, hey? So, like, for sure this would be continued later today. Like, where it would be posted at would be probably now, but, so, So our first minikin at this point we can get at this first part, so our first make it is just hit those targets, obvious, and then build a make it. Even though Warg Attack is like the shortest level, it's not the level with the shortest score. So, yeah, we're gonna continue to, because for sure I'm going to get to the open world in a minute after this level, before I do the level Rohan that's on in it. So if you didn't already with my leave a like and subscribe if you want, but good choice. Okay, yep, phone ad. I really forgot to take care of like that. Like it won't pop up, but notifications or whatever. Hold on. Yeah, we're good. See, that's the time I'm doing it at. I want to avoid it, but I want to make sure we're. So as something I wanted to say was so now only at least I can give some brief movie history. Cause I said before I didn't saw the Two Towers, so that as brief like some movie history. In the particular scene, there was actually a fight, because I did saw this point a little bit. So the fight was that like some of them wanted to eat the hobbits, but then you had the other some didn't want to death. They just wanted to keep them alive. That was it. And then that's why the whole fight broke up before Rohan then showed up and like, yeah, obliterated them all. So that, but then so it happened in the movie. He fought Aragorn / Strider fought that the hobbits were dead. Well, they weren't. So he ends up kicking a helmet, and then he does so good acting. Well, I kind of bring this up because actually he did actually got her on set. Okay, now but he was in pain, but it fits so perfect that was left in the movie. But so seriously, when you watch that point, you're actually will not notice that he's actually in pain. It's just a little movie history. That's probably the only amount of history I can give about the movie, because I really don't know much after, other than other side stuff with characters as a fun fact. Who's this character? And who's that? But like, come on now, I'm not like your research dude. You can go research all that stuff by yourself. And in this level, we didn't got the useless item. Yeah, so, this is it. We're on the last scene of the level. Like, I really do kind of have mixed, like, reviews on the level. So, we in total should have 2 more minikits we can get on story. And then, we do have to go back here for 1 for a tool, and 2 for another minikit. Not really related to the tool. Because, yeah, the open world stuff I have to do might only just take us 10-20 minutes, and then we're going back to levels, and then from levels it's just an art level, and then It's actually completing the story of the Twin Towers. 2 towers, I meant. Not my twin. Where did I even got that from? So, I probably wanted to say is like not like a next real part. I'm hoping like in a good situational time. We're actually getting the one of the mini kits of the 2. So our one mini kits of the 2, you do need to aim at the bird. Oh, don't worry, you don't kill it. Like, so we'll actually move over there. So once you hit it again, you already know you're gonna get the mini cat. So yeah, this cutscene will play, and then that's the mini kit, but I'm not gonna try to lose all this studs over here, so. I do need to pick him up briefly, so that way I can cross the water. Unless you actually have the thing built at the building at the beginning, but you don't. You actually have to only come to this point, because this is where the tool is. And that would be it. For the scene, because the last mini kit you can actually get, even though you're supposed to wait on it. Before I head over there, so these targets will raise, hit them all, and that, you were supposed to wait until you had this built, or whatever, but, it wasn't as much. This is it. This is actually the only amount of studs you need to get in the level, because this is actually the end of the level. Tracking habits. My dog is barking weird. Somewhat he's an idiot. Not he or she. But I still love her. I'm not calling her physically an idiot. She does stuff retarded. Their best way to describe it. So yeah, we made it to the end of the level. So I'll be back. So, no, I didn't miss the minikit, no. Somewhat this point does keep me fogging in mind, like, hey, is this a minikit? Is this a minikit? Is this not a minikit? Is this not a minikit? I'm actually gonna take a torch somewhere. So I did talk about it before, like, hey, there's like small things we can do in the open world. Like, it's mostly one big chunk, so that's what it is. I will have to take a torch back out here later, but for right now, we're gonna go ahead and start off by going back here where the level was, because on this side of the right of it, near the wolves, should be this puzzle. I did mention I'm gonna take a torch because I'm gonna get one of the things that we're technically supposed to wait on until later, and then work my way around. So that's that mythical brick. There's nothing I have to build. So what I'm gonna do is actually leave the horse here. So what I'm gonna first do very quick before I work on like Isengard and all that. Okay, so he's here. It's random if he appears or not. He's 500, so I'm gonna actually build up to 500 very quickly before I continue. So that's something you're gonna watch me do very quick. Build up 500 by him, get it done, and then we're gonna move on to more. So it should take about, like, not too long, like, let's see, because of the amount of studs I collect around Breed Plus somewhere else, yeah, not too long, I would say, not too long. Because then from there, I'm actually going to finish up what I do in the open world, and then after that we'll be doing Warg Attack, and then the Riders of Rohan level. Yeah, it's just getting the open world done right now. And it's like, I think, personal opinion, my worst level of all time would be Dead Marshes. Before I also leave this area, I'm also going to grab a key. It's for one of the chests for later. So, I'm doing this to get Ragging Ass to Brown. Like, no big deal for that. He's only 500,000, and then after Ragging Ass to Brown, so yeah, nothing like too much I'm doing because because it's like quick Miffle Brick stuff. Like, I'm gonna start from because the only area that I'm going to go back and have to do stuff for very quick, it's just the White City. Not the White City, but Rohan, the main city part of Rohan. Because by that point, I will actually have a score 2 to be able that needs to be purchased. So I will actually first get score 2, and then get the other carrots that I need to get. So that's pretty much what I'm doing right now. It's just getting enough for Ragging Ass stuff. Of course, Brown. So gonna be redoing this a lot very quickly, and then we're doing getting Ragging Ass to Brown. I actually forgot to enter the pen. Like, I go between 3. This area and, of course, Domination for the most amount of studs you can get. It's only, I personally say it's not that much you have to do on paper. Like, once you get to, I'm trying to think of what level is the... I only need a torch to just get one Miffle Brick out of... Not out of the city, but in the city, but that'll be soon, but out of this... Well, there's one Miffle Brick that's next run that's out of the city. That'll be the last one I do. Probably do the last torch. So yeah, another, it's because it's like, I'm trying to remember, so you have to do the city and then there's one, yeah, it's not that much Miffle Bricks you can do in the open world. I'd say the stretch points would be here, and after next level, and then after that, no more stretch points, like, guys, at this point, I should actually have enough to be able to get him very quickly. Like, because after War Attack, it's just I'm gonna quickly get enough and purchase, you know, because this is the only character I have to buy before, we have to go to, like, the next, after the next level, it would be, like, 3 characters. It's weird. I kind of feel bad, though, that, so, that would be so, I think what really sucks, though, is that if something happens, you have to, gloves are helpful for swinging, you won't, get any strength item just yet, because once you get a strength item, it really just makes it so that, I think in our original playthrough, ranking as the Brown actually never appeared just yet. He actually, appeared after, we did, let me think. Yeah, I'm gonna have enough for him very quickly, and then, we are going to do what I said. Before I officially get the key thing I said, first to get ranking as the Brown, you have to wait until the point he appears, and you just have to go walk outside where he should be here. Actually, I think it's only like an Xbox Live thing. If you had Xbox Live, you actually could have bought him. Couldn't buy him while having a million, so at that point you probably would have got score 2. Globin, we cannot get Globin until we get the firework, and better chances for me to get him on story than replay. In the open world. So, yeah. So, oh wait, I forgot the thing. Hold on, let me go back. I forgot the key. So there's 2 keys you can get. You can get the one on the left, or the one in the dirt field. Uphill. From Marie. As a fun fact, Bree is actually not a teleporting location. It's weird, but in this game, the front doors are not the main gate, but the main gate is open in, later. Like in Hobbit, it's open, but surprisingly enough, it's actually open inside the DS version of Plague of Lord of the Rings. So this key is like your value key. So let's say you can't find something value, like okay, so I can't find this here, but I can find this here and this here. They should have programmed the key so it had to been in a certain area. So, yeah, they actually made a mistake and made it so that the key can actually be used anywhere. Not just one area. And so I'm going to take the long way to get to it. The only reason I need the torch is just because I know I'm going back for the city mithril brick, but it's getting the mithril brick in the white city. There's going to be one outside. So you have to approach the main gate to trigger the level. So this is actually should be a mithril brick. Yep. So the key I think was supposed to be for fishing. No, the key was actually in here. But I gotta place this key can go for because I do need another key. Because right now the eye would be actually I don't need the key because right now the eye would be facing Oasis, that area. So before I can get the bricks done with these characters, because it doesn't trigger their level unless you were doing it for Sam. It's weird. So instead of me going to the Oasis area right there, this mithril brick can only be done at night. However, we can do this mithril brick over here. And we actually are making... So I mentioned before, it's not much. Helm's Deep, there should be a total of... I did mention the for second part technically because I aims at I actually did this like it's not like I'm partially tired, but not in the face of dozing off. Like yeah, like I'm for sure going to get some more sleep after, but. Before I talk to stuff, well, first off, it's for here. That's for just... We'll be talking about the White City soon. Another thing we'll be doing... Well, I'll start doing this now. But you have to shoot 70 targets. Actually, I'll hurry up and finish the 7 targets. Because there's only like one more mini kit on the side of the building on the left we're going to do, and then we're going to actually work our way into the actual city, because after free play, we should be able to get boxing gloves, so we're going to be able to do more. If not, I don't remember exactly if we do get boxing gloves or not. But just going to let you know we're going to be able to do more. So the only reason I bring a torch here is because I do bring an art torch back into the city, but you bring the torch up here and that's it. So this long scene will play. This actually happens in the movie. I don't remember what point, but it does happen in the movie. But for a mention, I didn't watch the whole Two Towers movie, so this does happen. So because our party shouldn't be here, but I'll also activate this while we're here. So, I should be able to do the race. I can do that. Methyl break and the methyl break down there. And, that's it. For the here. By the way, fun fact, you don't need the torch no more. Also, I mean, 2 methyl breaks, also the race. 1, so. Actually, I found this kind of weird that he needs this. So, I'm actually talking to them right now, so that way I can just go up and go, hey, here we go. By the way, as a fun fact, I do not actually need the characters they're playing as. So if you come over here, if you have the if you have the key, you could skip the crank handle point, but because we have Elven Rope, you can actually do the whole puzzle here. Because if you have the torch, then you can do the art part. If you don't have the torch, that's alright. So we're going to do the race very quick. Yep. It's so weird. You're supposed to use the wagon cart, but you know, is the race does not take place near the outer rim where the eye is, because you would actually get a jump scare of the eye. I would have showed it, but you kind of already pictured that whole eye would look up close. So, what would be the point of showing you if you already know what the eye looks like up close? So, for the next myth or brick we're getting in the open world, because I want to be able to do Helm's Deep area before I do stuff, because after I do Helm's Deep, I'm going to get the Berserker, and then after I get the Berserker, I'm also going to... I'm doing the first level on free play so I can get the Shockwave back, so I can already have all the tools I need, so after I finish the main one, I think I'm going to do the 2 that I'm going to do as Golem first after we finish free play. So, like, I'm going to take care of the free play stuff in this part. So, that's another thing. I didn't meant to flip it like. Okay, so, you want to do this brick now, or until. You do not want to do it, like, when it hits the next story, because you can't access the area, or go up there and get the mithril brick until the story is completed. This is the mithril brick that's out of the city. I'm describing it now. Might as well. There's no mithril brick in the field, but then, if you make your way over here, this is the nighttime one to mention. On our way, not touching the main gate, but, I think it was on our, hold on. I might have missed it, so let me go check for a minute. Like, it's not a night one I'm looking for. No hillside, so, it's not over here. So, it's over here. Past the door that starts the main level. Yep, right here. There should be this one. Why, for a record, you would have to shoot at him. But, I guess I showed it better with the horse. So I was definitely horsing around. It's okay, joke. So, I'm gonna actually see if I can jump inside the city and do the torch one. Then I just have to do whatever in the city after I get gloves. If not, okay. So we're at this point. Before I actually do the race, there's a total of 2 mithril bricks you can do in Helm's Deep. But then there's a couple at Isengard. Like, there's one outside of Isengard that I can take care of. It just requires me, because I have a fishing rod already, so I don't have to worry about going back for the key. It's like, if you couldn't solve where certain keys are, I would advise taking a key from one area and getting it done. Maybe that was close to lucky. I was gonna mention before, you cannot complete, it sucks though that you cannot complete Helm's Deep as one of the completable areas, because, one of the reasons is due to the fact it's not because of the metal character. You cannot get one of them without having Gollum. So he's gonna mention about decorative horseshoes. Like, as a fun fact, the horseshoes do make a return in, like, oh, Hobbit. The decorative horseshoes will do is, like, you'll be full running. Not like, okay, I'm gonna be moving like this. You're gonna be full burst running. Well, it doesn't, like... So you're gonna have to go no matter the case on this thing. I'm gonna wait until it moves again. Back up. That's it. Because if you see, there's a goblin climb wall. If you didn't have to do the goblin climb wall, then that would have been possible. Before I do this race, because there's another thing I want to do. I didn't actually realize it was going to drop it. I will actually go back and grab a torch. So, I'll actually grab a torch, see if I can jump into this. You know what? No, I'm going to wait until I do physically the city. Because I think, yeah, it would be impossible because the walls are, like, too high. So, I'm not going to worry about that. So, Isengard, there's, one more, 2 mithril bricks I can get here. I didn't know I had to go uphill. I wasn't actually paying attention for a minute. Well, so far, that's my first fail. In my original part, I actually never failed a single race. So, that, like, I want to comment on that, the one race that I disliked was the race from Moria. Was because due to the fact that, you seriously had to, wait for stuff. Okay. By the way, this is later. So, we're doing good so far. Like, about, yeah, I'm good. I was just trying to tell up something in my head, like, so, to finish up what we have to do here, you know what's so weird? I don't even touch Isengard that much. I only touch it for this one mithril brick. I carried her after the Helm's Deep level and then stuff. There's literally not much. So you actually would go for the envelope, and I think the mithril brick as well, if I remember correctly. But this would be the secret staircase area, though, does have your artist hat. So, as a fun fact, all the envelopes are useless items that you have to build all to get 100% of the game. Except for one, the envelopes in the open world that's actually at free. It's not useless because you have to build it so you can be able to do, is give one the red bricks. So, before I grab the tool, here's our official last one. I also find that kind of weird that that the character would be that the characters do not ride their horses. Even when we go back to the area, and yeah, that should be it, because the quest down here in Fangor Forest you cannot do. Actually, we'll get the purples very quick in that. So, yeah, I'm really thinking over my time, like, how long will it be? So, we have that mount studs. Yeah, it's just gonna be a little bit I have to collect before I get the gloves turned in. Then after I get the gloves turned in, I'm gonna go ahead and, get enough studs, because I'm gonna have to get a total of like 475 very quick after. Okay, so you don't begin the level right away. Well, I'm actually going to begin it and come back with the torch, so you could technically come back with the torch, go behind it into the fire. You have to do, so yeah. So yeah, this is how the level began. Is it technically not killing anybody? So, for a record, this is like the shortest level. So I'm gonna continue the level a little bit. So if Gimli actually had his weapon, you would be able to get at least one make hit, including Legacy, but because of stuff, you cannot get that. So So you cannot actually do what you have to do just yet. You have to wait until he falls into it. And then do it. So this ends scene 1 of the level, so, yeah, there's only one more scene, so we're in scene 2.
Whee!
So, so before I, do the trick for, there's actually a trick to get score 2. So before I do it, I'm actually going to first get the score. Not the score, but the only minikin in this area, because, because, yeah, definitely after, so you can't grab that purple, it sucks though that for this trick to work, you also need to commit a little bit death. So I did talk about before, you can actually hit one of the targets. By the way, for a record, the envelope is not real, so, how would you get the envelope on story? Well, what you need to do is, it will probably cost a little bit of your studs, so what you have to do is press X and then turn around and fire. Okay? The first target you can hit without doing that, but it's the second target is the big concern. You were actually supposed to break the metal in place as Legacies, and you can do the whole rope, shoot an arrow on the rope thing. Because I'm not a fan of that. So now, because I said with the 2, I will actually show off the area you will actually do the next one at. You, in A, do what I just did again. Or B, you actually come down here. And if you shoot at random, should be able to hit it, but I didn't get to hit it. So I'm actually going to hurry up and hit the last target what I did before, how I fell. Now it makes that look real, and yeah, that's it. Usually, see, that's the glitch. You could possibly die twice, and that's it. Give me a sec. Okay, it was just nothing much. It was just letting me know there's food. Like, you know, so that was another thing I'm gonna bring up that I brought up before in like one of my previous ones I don't remember which one. Anytime that I stop, like pause or something in like long duration, like for example, if I can like Lord of the Rings, I can't like record it like I have to record it like this so you would hear me speaking and all that, but then I have those ones where I can do it off of the Xbox Twitch, so if you don't see any like movement, it's just because I had to go do something very quick. I had to go eat or whatever. Like, while we're at it, I could talk about something. Like, it was during the Christmas time or whatever. It was something like that, January toward then. I actually was doing a complete saga, and Creeper actually took me over halfway during the middle of the super story of episode 5. And by the way, for the trick I did, now we officially can get score 2 because this level is the gloves. This should be the end of the level after you do this wave. Because, yeah, there's only one make it you can get in this level. Right back here in the bathroom so you can see stuff. I'm gonna step out of the room, just sit here and then let you see here. Oh, do that. But I'm gonna continue the story for a minute. So give me a second. Now I go to Rohan. Is that Rohan? For a minute? I can say I'm eating lunch. Well, I'm mad I'm getting enough for sport 2 very quick. That's a fun history fact. Actually, if you were gonna do this, Lego Hobbit is actually an increased amount of studs. So the amount of studs I'm getting right now is the amount you need to times twice to get the score multipliers. Because after the level we're on, I'm gonna be able to get not score, but we're gonna do the first level. Because sadly you can't do it for the second level because you're gonna be in the crouching phase and you can't jump high, so you can't do the golem wall thing with jumping high. So before I make the tool, I'm actually going to hit the last one. So when I'm gonna bring this up when I do Lego Hobbit because I have it for that specs one, so it wouldn't be like this. So I'll be doing all the achievements again, so it's also gonna be an achievement playthrough. But the only reason I'm doing this is because I am kind of dissatisfied with how everything went with the original. First of all, this is unlocks a couple things. First of all, I actually forgot about a couple of mythical bricks I didn't really Lord of the Ring. If some people were going to be saying in the comments below. Oh, I've got to do this because I can have this character on that. I'll go back to regrab the torch after part 2. But okay, I guess I'm taking the real long way there. So I first meet Gimli. So straight off the bat, this is one I forgot to do. Actually fell into the water, so of course it's useless. So I'm first going to go to Rivendell and get Sword 2 now. So I'll be back for the Shockwave Axe thing. So this you can do before you do tracking hobbits. I forgot to mention that. Because you be out of some other characters and you can afford. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So we're going to have a long talk after. Like, I know I fell the second time, but of course this is Sport 2, we're going to turn that on. And I forgot about him, his age. So we're going to actually get him very quick as well, because, so that way, so he's 200. So 650,000 stuff we're wasting before I end up doing the level Helm Deep. It's so weird that stuff like So we're gonna actually start by doing around studs here and combination before I'm going to go ahead and buy in very quick, then do another round just to get this. So I'm only doing this so we can get the Cursed King. Look, I'm not gonna bother doing the torches around town. Because with this, we're able to get build the studs very quick. However, I'm doing the plant one and after you do this one, I forgot I unlocked the door. We do need to stop one. It would be like this section would be clear. Surprising with Lego Hobbit that fixed about Lego Lord Rings was that Lego Hobbit had Gollum in it, but you had to buy him because of course he was a side character, not a mainstream character. But though I was gonna say it's so weird that Lego so it's about Gollum that he actually has broken physics in this because the only level that he would be able to hold an item that would break physics is actually Omningham. However, they actually had a physics thing that was true about it. That is not Omnicron. A physics thing they actually had true was actually that Gollum can actually wear a hat. That surprisingly enough, that was actually the only thing fixed about thing that worked in this is he couldn't put it in the inventory box that Gollum couldn't put a hat on. But if he did pick, if you were playing a bubble and there was a hat, the hat would work and it will not like glitch him out like, okay, so he's like this far, this far, this far. So I'm only taking this up here so I can get his age right here. So this is, we are actually done with ribbon now for like a good minute. So now we need 450,000 studs. Before, what time is it? Yeah. Go on for okay, that's nice. So I'm hoping to get this stuff done around like, so we're going to next level, so we're gonna probably have free play on like 2. And then I can do a little bit of open world already. And then finish up what I want to finish up. So, I think the thing that, because after I do free play, there's going to be like a few open world stuff I can do before I can go ahead and say, okay, we are done with the open world stuff. So, I'm going to go here, do what I did to plan that, and then I should be able to have enough by my next trip around in June, and then I'm gonna take the torch with me to, you know, where. Because as a fun fact, that would be not the last time you have to light a fire. In the open world, there's at least 2 more times. One is on Helm's Deep, and you can't do that. And then there's somewhere else, but if not, it might just be Helm's Deep, and that's it. Actually. Like, nice thing I want to say about Lego Hobbit comparing to Lego Lord of the Rings is they actually have that fixed feature where, to flip it tonight, you don't have to worry about going to a stone. So that's why it makes it impossible in this game to flip at night during certain points. And that kind of makes it frustrating because if we could have flipped at certain points, like, certain things could have been done. But, they wanted to make sure that people wouldn't get, like, the open world done, for example, too quickly. And I just want to be honest with you, like, the open world is pretty quick for us after. Like, seriously, it's just a walk in the park after the certain stuff is completed. Just, okay, you start with this here, boom, 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 you're done. So, I think one of the worst, but I would personally say that would be my worst level in the story. Not the Mines of Moria, but I think it's Dead Marshes that was my worst. My best level was probably Helm's Deep. Because I want to be honest though, the 2 tower story, the one we're on right now, it's not like the story of this, suck. I really had to say it was a kind of a disappointment. Best way to put it? Like a very disappointment. Some people might see what I'm talking about, but if you don't, well, I want you to put it this way. Okay, the levels were kind of long, not long, but not too fast. So yeah, there's her in the front. So this is actually will be the last, like, there's her before I go. Her, so that's how much carrots I total. So we'll start by buying her. Actually, you know what's so weird? You asked me that question and then you ended up, you the whole thing. Oh, by the way, I just realized I'm gonna have more studs. I can get disguises very quick because we have the item and I know where the fire is. I need to put out. So I'm going to. So this is like the last thing I have to use a torch for. apparently I can't get back up, apparently, so, yeah, the last thing is, that was it. So before I talk to the classes and plus turn one in for items, oh wait, I can't do the cluster bow yet because I don't have the bucket from Dead Marshes. Like if I did Dead Marshes right now, I would have the bucket. But I can wait on doing the bucket thing very quick. Or I could do Dead Marshes now because I don't actually have the bucket. Or for you know what. So we're gonna worry about that a little bit later. We're gonna actually do hunting now. Trigger the cutscene while my the fan of mine is doing, you know, going off very quick on the device, so. This is our last character. Because we're going to have a character to buy out here soon. Oh, I have one more. Yep. I'm gonna have to stop by. So yeah, we're gonna finish Helm's Deep. Very quick, that level. After, and then we're gonna do Dead Marshes. Then after Dead Marshes, we're on the final level. Then after that level, I'm gonna do free play, then the open world again, and then that's probably going to be it for part 3. So during part 4, the final part, I'm going to be finishing the rest of the open world, free play, story free play. I don't remember if this character was 150. So I'm gonna actually get an extra stud for that. I should be able to be fine not stopping for like after. Like I'm on the last level that I have to like stuff I have to get, like I have to clean up my plate and my food and I just ate. And that at this point there's only like stuff you have to do in Dead Marshes, but I'm gonna be able to work on one area that's not near that's kind of near the White City after right now. So that's good, I get to work on it. So he's one of the characters I do at night. I get that chance. So, so weird. Like, I think he was supposed to actually, yeah, he was. So, like, the level Helm's Deep should not be long. Yeah, I should have enough leftover studs to be able to stuff like. Okay, so, okay, so we do seriously have to walk over there, but I could probably walk from Vanguard first to it, actually. Comparing me come back here. It was probably the same distance, so it doesn't really make a difference. So yeah, at least I'm going to do the first level on free play after this level. So I can make the shockwave act, so I don't have to stop during free play. For anyone. Anything, so. Watch that scene, I'll be back. Yeah, so I'll be right back still. So I think he was killed in Helm's Deep. I don't remember. By the way, this is how the level begins. I do like how the cutscene works perfect. Like, it actually goes from the cutscene to the actual level. Well, my friends are online again. So we're good. Oh, yeah. Technically I wasn't going to originally connect this to Xbox Live. Like, I was actually going to just have it in, like, yeah, but I didn't want things to load wrong or whatever, compared to my original. So that's why I did that. Like, Helm's Deep is not going to be long. The minikit, you have to go back to 1 point for a minikit, I don't know what to say. So, this level's not pretty long. When we get to free play, it's 12 levels on free play. It's like, I found issue with free play meaning. Sorry. I didn't know I kicked my stand. When I was lifting up the fan. So, yeah. So, this point is pretty short. Like, the achievement for this level would be, because there's actually achievements in this, would be, I think you had to kill 42 as Gimli in Helm's Deep, or 42 as Legacy in Helm's Deep of the Urk-kai. As a fun fact, that line is actually set in League of Dimensions. And it's only triggered if you have bought Legacy and had bought Gimli. Like, I like how they don't even have Strider as a character, but they had Gimli, Legacy, Gollum, and then Gandalf for the main game as playable characters in League of Dimensions. And, like, here's my complaint. Why didn't you brought, like, Strider, and then all of a sudden you have this? Then you had Boromir as the person you had to save inside, you only had Strider, and then you had to save Samwise, but you only had Strider in, like, one... Here, what is that? Like, I do want to be honest, comparing to Legacy and, Gimli, Gimli, there's really nothing much. You only need them for crawling vents. There's, like, no axe things. But I have to give credit, Gollum's the better one, because due to the fact that, Legacy can shoot arrows, so that's the pro, but Gollum can do acrobatics and destroy metal, even though it's not theoretically possible. And also, he has the ability of doing boomerang. Just letting you know. It's kind of weird. So, like, I feel like for a while I would be explaining, so then, a cutscene should play now. So at this point, one of the trolls will spawn. It'd be the bandage. The bandage is right there. I got the mini kit with falling there. It's one of these dirt piles. I think it's the frontwards one towards the battlefield. That's where the bandage is. That's for a quest you could turn in later. Actually, it's alright doing the Black Rider level because the mini kit that is in metals at the beginning, there's none at the end. So you could technically do the whole Black Rider level, but you have to wait sadly because of Gollum. But as a fun fact, this is where the envelope is. Yeah, sadly you can't like go with that, glitch yourself through it because that thing is not real. You do need to do this one layer. And by the way, there's only one mini kit at this point you can collect, and we cannot store it. I mean, 2 mini kits here, but one of them you can't store it because it's so simple. Then now we made it to this point. So before we actually get here, that's the mini kit, the last mini kit of the level you're going to end up getting on free play. This is our second mini kit, but not our last one down. Like, I just want to be honest with people. My issue with this level is that it's literally, this is probably one of my issues with the level was this point right here. It's where, yeah, your friend down there is just killing Urkai. It's, you have to do the work up here. I guess while we're waiting, I'll actually move that. You can't jump up the building and get it, sadly, because there's a limitation. Oh wait, just to let you know, we're not even done with the level yet. We just only have one more scene. Man, it's like the castle's broken. I might as well hire the Queen of Hearts to do this job. like up here, like stole very quick, put something behind it, and just go. Okay, now for real. So this final scene, you need to jump right here, then take an immediate left to hit this one. It doesn't actually matter if you, like, lose a health state, like, there or so. All you gotta do is run into these flags. And after you run into this last flag, congratulations, you have got the blast make it, and you have completed the level. And thanks to this tragic event, this was also the end of the Uruguay. Almost. I know they're in later levels, but, Still, like, come on, they're the Uruguay, so. Now that I will actually move. So you won't believe it, Isengard. So, if you're going to do anything in there, like you want to explore in there, sadly you can't, or else you're going to meet the eye jump scare. Now we're on a long level, but it should take me up to 12:33, and yeah, it's going to be like 1, so we're going to be done around 3. Stuff, but because of stuff, I'm actually going to go ahead and go to what just have unlocked and do bricks there. And then we're doing Dead Marshes. Then after Dead Marshes, we're doing bricks at Dead Marshes very quick. Then that. So by the time, before the story is completed, the main story, you should have Dead Marshes and Amenhen done. Well, of course, there's a crane handling, or... Well, I'm actually going to be a little cheapskate about saying, we do need the crank handle. Not on our side, but we need the key on our side. So, what we're going to do is so I can... Because the key is actually just fishing it. As a fun fact, Helm's, like, this level, when it comes to the level, actually is not there for the other side to unlock. However, it's there for another, but... So, while we're here, we're gonna actually quickly put on our spring boots. I actually made spring boots because it actually does help a lot with the Hobbit side and stuff. So this is brick number 1. surprisingly enough, if the gap was not like this big, I would have attempted trying to jump over. But sadly, because of how the gap is, I can't do that. There we go. So this is brick number 1. There should be brick number 2 here as well. I think there's a second brick over here. It might just be this one. Because burning out the fire will lead to a crane handle one. Nope. We can't do the art brick here. We can't do that water brick out, I think. Nope. There it is. Because after this one, we're officially on dead marshes. Actually, let me see if I can make it as flag assist. From here? No. Hold on. I'm just trying to remember how I did my stuff. Like, I did got this brick before. You don't need the boat here. There we go. This will be our last brick you can do on this side of Cares because, well, so far after the next level, we're also getting the bottomless bucket. But before I do that, but first, I'm actually doing off my word. I said I was actually going to do the first level, the prologue, on free play. Because here, we should also have Elmir. That's 125,000 studs for him, but we need 200 of them to get Berserker. So I'm going to actually buy Elmir after I have completed the level Helm's Deep. Not Helm's Deep, but the prologue on free play. As a fun fact, the prologue and another level, a couple levels you can do while using Golem. You need Golem in the prologue, but there's more you can do. So we're gonna actually hurry up and start with the prologue. So the prologue, you did need a Golem. There's actually a trick to avoid needing Golem. Like, I will soon actually make a list explaining what are the requirements to complete free play with or without DLC. So this was, of course, the beginning. Also, if I wanted to, I also could do Taming Golem, because there's a little trick in that room that you don't even need Golem for the last puzzle. But, I'm just gonna wait on it, because I want to go in level order. Because I want to give some credit. It does really entertain me that if I do it out of level order, or like that. So, let's move on. So, I'd say what really makes it annoying for each level we have to do is we have to literally go to the end. To begin free play off, that's our first mini kit right there, technically for free play, because our first mini kit was actually on story. And grab me for what? I did not. I don't know what you're saying. I think you got the wrong person. Well, I can't really address that right now. Then if you're saying it's me. So yeah, then we're moving on free play with the next item before we're officially in the actual area with the rest of the items at. So our next item is a tool. This is it. No. It's gonna already break free off of it, isn't it? No. Good. Well, I'm gonna play as him. Because to be able to finish this point, you have to play as him, and then do that. I don't have time to speak. I knew we were saying about the dang earlier, but what exactly ban off of? Well, I guess it's later to find out. So after this point, so before I get into the area, it's a glitch that if you do it, try to do it if you're second player. That won't let you throw. So we have to do it as, I'm actually going to. How is the device? But I should be able to get through. Yeah, it should be fine, I So that's our first tool. Our next tool is actually in here. Plus a little more. So go over here. Instead of destroying this thing, because you would screw it up and then you have to restart what you did, jump up like that. I accidentally killed myself with that, but that should be there. Then before I get the actual thing, break this open. Here's the envelope. Our next tool is actually right here. Pull that open. And that should be our final tool of the level. Okay, so the thing about the Saruman statues, it actually started in here. So the first one's right here. This is not like the one of whatever you could finish on the story. So we'll actually move on. I do need to flip to my other person and then flip to Gimli. That's our next mini kit right there. The next one will actually be right here. While we continue that. Well, this is just a redo. This is the story main kit. You of course had the sword already, so I'm just doing it for blues. So we're almost done with the level and story. I mean, free play for this. So before I destroy these statues, I'm gonna get over here and this should be the next mini kit. Then the final mini kit is actually at the end. The actual end. So this should be it. So now the doors should break open, and then that's it. But if you go over to the cliff I mentioned before, go over here. This ends the level anyway, so that's the story level, so it took you to the very end. course, this level I mentioned was the Shockwave Axe. I'm gonna build that in a minute. So, before I make the Shockwave Axe, I'm actually going to get this character, make the Shockwave Axe, and turn it in fat. Fallen Rexu, get Fallen Rexu very quick. Nope, it's right in front of me. I should have enough for Fallen Rexu. Yeah, the other character is not here. I'm gonna hurry up and get Fallen Rexu. It's so weird that Elmir is mentioned, but he's not. In any of the physical points. So, I'm thinking if I am. Yeah, you know what? I say this might be a decent part. I might do it a little bit different compared to the original because I had the original like 3-4 parts, 5 parts or whatever. I don't remember. But like, I have so much planned in my mind, so I think I am gonna actually change it to I'm gonna stop right after we do this. Turn the Fallen Rexu red brick. So next time it would be later. I'll be finishing this story up. And what else? So finishing this story up, doing free play. So that way I would probably finish it Tuesday. We got some people here as well we had to get. I totally forgot. They unlock after you do Helm's Deep. Like, we will not get any more characters at this point from Helm's Deep. Because I also need enough to be able to, yeah, that's what I'll do, because I want to be able to do is probably finish the story, then do free play, and then I will do the next levels after, or tonight, and then something, because I do got other stuff I want to do, like, a little bit soon. But I think it would be a really good, like, almost that, like, a good time to stop after I'm done with this. This is what I'm doing, buying the characters there, turn the shockwave axe. Because it's so weird that it's just like you get this one big moment of pause. So I'm doing the last thing is turn the shockwave axe, and I'm getting Fallen Rexu, getting the Ren Elf and stuff. This is a redo of a mini Mithril Brick if you never did it. I'm just doing it for the Rebels, so I know I have enough. I find this weird that the character is here, even though they should have put the character in, like, the elves came there, but so I assume he came from here. I totally don't remember. So I'm going to stop it here for now. So this is all for this time. And the next one we'll be continuing to Dead Marshes, then Oxyland, and then we're going to do free play, and then do, whatever from there. So, see ya.